Hey guys, my name is Savannah and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are utilizing a lot of the new items that came with the Growing Together expansion pack that released earlier this week. I actually enjoyed this pack far more than I thought I was going to, as I really only build in The Sims 4 and I don't necessarily do any sort of gameplay. So expansion packs are really just expensive stuff packs for me, since I really only use the build buy objects that come with them. But I always get excited for expansion packs because the amount of build buy objects that we get is always so much more than in something like a stuff pack or a game pack. And I'm really excited about the style of this one. Now, I will say, before we talk about exactly what we're building, items in this pack did confuse me just a little bit. As you'll be able to tell, I am picking and choosing a lot of the Craftsman style objects from this expansion pack because that fits the style of build that we are building currently. However, in the pack, we also got some very modern and contemporary looking pieces. And there are some pieces in this pack that I really don't like them. I think they're ugly. I really love the kind of family worn in objects that we got, like the couch that we use. I absolutely love, with the pillows and the blankets on it and little details like that. But then there's some other objects that are very clearly meant for a different style. And I almost wish that the pack would have picked one style and really run with that, rather than kind of putting two styles into one and giving us half and half. Now, that being said, I really do like some of the contemporary objects that we got, and I'm excited to build more of a modern take on a family home with those. All I'm saying is that I just wish we would have gotten a lot more objects in either style, because right now they split the pack in half, and yeah, there are objects in other packs that match those styles, but there are not a lot of players that have all of the packs, and so you might not have the other ones that match that style, and so then you're limited on your options. But as you can see here, we're finishing up the exterior and just doing some detailing. I really like the blue color. I know it's pretty typical and standard of a Craftsman. I've seen a lot of people do blue Craftsman style homes, but it just worked for my first build, and really honestly some of my first builds back to publishing videos on this channel. We took a bit of like a 6-month hiatus, and we just released a video last week on a little desert build. If you want to check that out, I would appreciate it. But hopefully I'm back to uploading weekly, if not bi-weekly, because I'm having a blast building in The Sims. And I'm so excited to be back into it. I have so many ideas for future builds, and my Pinterest board is growing exponentially. I feel like all I do when I sit down to relax at the end of the day, or I'm winding down at the end of the night, is just continually scroll through Pinterest to find interior inspiration, exterior inspiration, floor plans, because I struggle with the floor plans. I struggled with this one just a little bit, but I'm actually really happy with how it came out. I'm really excited that I was able to not only include a laundry room that is separate from the bathroom or the kitchen or any other room, but also include a bathroom that has a full tub and shower. Obviously, if this family is going to have a child, a bathtub is a necessity. That does bring me to talking about the family who lives here. So when I was building this, I envisioned that this was going to be their first family home. And what I mean by that is that this is the first home that this couple has purchased together. Maybe beforehand they lived in an apartment or a condo that they rented. Maybe it was owned by one of the one of the individuals in the couple, either him or her, owned it. And now they've moved into their first home because they want to start growing their family. They want to start having kids. But since they don't currently have any kids, they've moved in here, or they didn't currently have any kids when they bought the home. They moved in here because it's more space, obviously, than a condo or an apartment, and has room for them to grow. And they're going to grow together, almost like it was meant for the pack, right? Planning. Wonderful. Anyway, inside here, it's 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and the second bedroom is a little nursery because I envisioned that this couple probably moved into this house a couple years ago. They spent a little bit of time getting situated. Maybe they had to change jobs, so getting situated in their jobs again. And then about a year and a half or so ago, they had their first child, and that child is a little girl. I haven't named anybody. I've only thought about what they like and where they would live and, you know, their little story. But because this house is primarily blue in color, obviously the exterior is very blue, and I continue that theme onto the inside as well. The kitchen is almost entirely blue. There's blue in the bathroom. There's blue in the living room. I decided to add a little bit of contrast so that not everything was a solid blue palette. And I decided that they were going to have a little girl. And that way I could make the nursery basically all pink. They leaned heavy into girly girl, making everything pink for their daughter. And that way, again, there could be a little bit of a difference between the nursery and the rest of the house. I also put in stuff for a cat because I thought that maybe this couple, you know, when they were still living in a condo or in an apartment, they decided to adopt a cat just to test out their responsibilities. It's always good to make sure that you can care for another living thing, I say, as I have only pets and no children, but, you know, just to kind of see how they function as a responsible couple together, taking care of another living thing in their household. So I did put down a litter box, a little bed, a scratching post, and then some toys in the living room. I thought a cat might be easier than a dog. A dog is much more responsibility. I can say from experience in having 3 of them myself, I do have 3 dogs and 2 cats. That would be a bit much, obviously, for a first-time family with an infant and a toddler. Infant or a toddler, excuse me. They only have 1 child. I can't imagine having a child right now in my current situation, working full-time and then having all the pets that I have. But anyway, I digress. So they have a little cat in their house. Obviously, the cat moved with them. I imagine maybe it was the wife's cat and she has brought along with her from before they were dating and before they even got married. So it's probably an older cat. And then obviously that was their test on, you know, if they could care for an animal. So maybe they didn't actually get it together. Maybe it was just her cat that she brought along in the relationship. You can see here's the floor plan. So I cut a lot of it out because I did a lot of playing and messing around and trying to decide what was going to work best. But in the end, I think this layout really does work. I ended up bumping the back of the house out just by 1 tile to make the bathroom and the parents' bedroom 1 tile bigger so that it wasn't as cramped as it was before. It just needed a little bit more room. Originally working on the kitchen, I was going to make the entire house very yellow on the inside. And then I decided to, again, lean into the blue kind of theming. And I absolutely love this tile that I used as a backsplash. I got really torn between making the interior of this house very new, very contemporary, modern, like newer Craftsman, I guess. I'm throwing out a lot of adjectives and I really don't know what any of them mean, but hopefully you understand what I'm trying to talk about. And I wasn't going to use these backsplash tiles on the wall, even though they're gorgeous and they're probably my favorite part of the pack, but they just looked a little bit too new. I do end up using them, but my reasoning being that the family that lived here beforehand did a little bit of renovation. So there are going to be some new aspects. So new cabinets and things, new tile on the wall. The tile on the floor is still older. We don't end up going with the tile you're currently seeing. We end up switching it to smaller tiles that have some little blue tiles in them. But switching that up just a little bit. So it's not completely renovated, but the family beforehand did some work at least keeping it updated and making it look nice. I'm really happy with how the layout of this kitchen came together. I end up putting just a little dining table in here so that they can sit and eat. And I completely forgot a high chair. I'm so bummed. With a toddler or an infant, you need a high chair. So I completely forgot to put that in. I apologize. So if you play with this house, you definitely need to put a high chair in. But putting the little table right here by the back door, I kind of tried to make this house look like this couple has gotten furniture from multiple places. So you'll see with the bedroom, it doesn't necessarily match exactly with the rest of the house. Idea being, of course, that maybe they got some newer furniture. Some of their stuff is hand-me-down. Some of their stuff is collected. Some of it was owned by them individually. And when they, started dating, got married, they brought it together. And then you end up realizing you have, two of everything. My boyfriend and I had to do that years ago when we first started moving in together. And we realized we had 2 sets of plates. And, we each had a couch and we both had a bed. And so we really had to pick and choose what we kept and what we didn't. And we did our best to make sure everything kind of matched and went cohesively together. But I still have a table that has blue chairs and there's nothing else blue in my house. But that was his when he lived on his own. And I actually didn't have a dining table. So it was the one we were stuck with. Anyway, I digress. That's kind of what I was trying to make it look like. This couch here is one of my favorite pieces that came. My only complaint is that we only got this 3-seater couch. We didn't get a love seat. We didn't get any chairs that match. And that's really what I was trying to hit on when I was talking about we got kind of half and half of 2 different styles. We got some really great pieces, but just like one of them, not a matching set. And I really wish that would have been different because it's gorgeous. All the little details on the front, it looks nice and soft and kind of worn in. I love the pillows and the blanket draped on the back. Absolutely love it. I do end up putting a fireplace in the build right here. I was trying, as you can see, to decide on what kind of chair to put over there. I was kind of thinking like, mom needs a place to sit and rock the child to sleep. But then I realized that would probably go a lot better in the nursery. So I placed the rocking chair in the nursery, and that's where she can kind of rock the child to sleep. And over here is a fireplace with just some built-in bookshelves. And I think it turned out really nice, utilizing some of those wood tones just to break up all the blue that I ended up putting in this house. This is really my first time trying to build an actual family home. And I really tried to think about the fact that these people, these people sounds wrong, this family is not going to have all the time in the world to keep the neatest house. And again, some things are going to be mismatched, from their furniture, from moving in together. And so I really tried to think about what exactly the house would look like if a family actually lived here. So this is not a picture perfect, super neat, cluttered up to your ears house. They really try to keep it neat. Of course, they've got a toddler running around, so you don't want anything dangerous down on the floor or, lots of breakable glass objects. And so I do some decorating to make it look lived in, but I do my best to make it not over the top. And then there's, lots of colorful kid toys that don't match the decor and stuff like that, just to make it look bright and fun. And again, like a family actually lives here. The nursery here, I do end up bumping back 1 tile as well, which is another reason why I bumped the bedroom out 1 tile. Because with this beautiful changing table and crib, I just didn't have room for the rocking chair that I wanted to add here. So I ended up bumping it out 1 tile. That way it could fit. This is a little reading corner with the rocking chair. And this crib is absolutely adorable. The changing table, we get a little diaper trash can. I love it. I absolutely love how the nursery came out. And for somebody that really, I don't have kids and I don't have a lot of friends with kids, I have absolutely no experience decorating nurseries or anything like that. I'm really happy with how this came out. I think it's cute. It let me use some objects that I otherwise really never use. So like that carpet that I picked, I would never use that other than, in a fun kids room or nursery like I am. I used the little pillow we got from the camping kit or the camping stuff pack. I forget what it was. Little pillow in the crib and then a little doll so that the daughter can sleep with it. Using some fun wallpaper, I ended up changing it from this so it doesn't actually stay this wallpaper. I actually forget which one I use off the top of my head, but I ended up changing it, putting in some curtains that match, and curtains just make everything look nicer. Of course, a plant, because again, plants make everything look nicer. There are lots of plants in the living room, just for some color and some contrast, and I can't build anything without putting 1,000 plants. So there are like 1,000 plants in the living room. But just putting some toys everywhere, the little, what is that little bird thing called from Star Wars? I completely forget, but it's adorable. So I put a little stuffed animal in there on the ground. The nursery is relatively neat because they only have a toddler, so the toddler is going to spend a lot of time wherever the parents are. So the living room is really what is the messy section of the house. The nursery is relatively clean. As the toddler gets older, I envision that would change as the toddler, turns into a child and has more of a say on where they put their things and starts decorating their own room and stuff like that. It would become a little bit messier. Moving on to I keep wanting to say master bedroom, and it is a master bedroom, but it doesn't have a connected bathroom. The door to the bathroom does go into the main part of the house. I wanted to build it that way because then, when guests come over, they don't have to walk through your bedroom to get to your bathroom. I lived in an apartment like that and I absolutely hated it because I'm not an extraordinarily messy person, but if nobody's coming over, I leave a water bottle here and there. If my boyfriend was listening, he would be laughing because he knows that's absolutely not true. I am somewhat of a messy person. But that means when people come over, I have to clean everything. I have to clean my bedroom and all that kind of stuff. That way, I'm not embarrassed when they walk through to go to the bathroom. And so living in that apartment was not the most fun. It was not the most fun for many reasons, but that was one of them, is having to clean everything because the bedroom and bathroom were connected and somebody had to walk through my bedroom in order to get to the bathroom. So long story short, I wanted to make sure that this house didn't have that same problem and that the bathroom exited into the main part of the house, which it works anyway because it is going to be a shared bathroom, of course. As this child grows up, it's going to start using the bathroom on its own. There is a shower and a tub in there because, oh my gosh, the new bathtub shower combination is so pretty. I love it so much. It's a nice, just simple, plain looking, without a lot of style to it, tub and shower combination. And it just fits so perfectly with this build that I was really, really happy about it. Now in the bedroom, you can see what I was talking about. This is probably some newer furniture, or potentially this is from her apartment. She has more of the contemporary modern look, whereas the husband might have had more of the Craftsman traditional style stuff. So the bedroom furniture is probably all from her apartment or her condo before they moved in, as it doesn't really match the rest of the house. And the living room is probably from his apartment or his condo before they moved in. Working on the bathroom here, I was going to make it one tile shorter, but then I decided because they were going to have a cat, either that they got together or her cat that she brought into the relationship, I needed that space in between the toilet in order to put a litter box and to make the bathroom feel like it has enough room. I really tried to make the bathroom look somewhat cluttered. So there is a bunch of stuff on the counter. Obviously, they have a little bit of storage underneath in those drawers and things, but you can't see anything in there and I can't decorate under there. So there's like a hairdryer and a comb and, toothbrush and stuff like that on the counter. I utilize some towels that don't necessarily match because at least, in my house, I don't have towels that match. They definitely are mismatched from a whole bunch of different occasions when I've gotten new towels or hand-me-downs or things like that. Putting in the little litter box, I did shrink it just to make it look a little bit more like it fits there and it's not sticking out completely. But yeah, you can see we continue the blue theme into this room as well. Using some of the tiles that I used in the kitchen, I actually meant to switch over and use the blue tiles that we used in the kitchen into the bathroom as well, but I completely forgot. So my reasoning behind that, or I guess my justification for it, is that the bathroom might be one of those rooms that the previous homeowners remodeled just a little bit. They kept all of the cabinets, or if the cabinets in the kitchen were new, they put them in the bathroom as well. You can see we used that same wall tile And then maybe the tiles in the bathroom got replaced because some of them were cracked or they were just dirtier or something, or they didn't have enough money to do the kitchen, so they just did the bathroom instead. So that's my reasoning for the tiles being different that I had to make up on the spot because I didn't remember that I forgot to change them. So hopefully that story makes sense. I'm going through and just kind of cluttering some things. I found this new rocking chair, so I switched that because originally I had the one from Nifty Knitting, and I like the one from the new pack so much more. It looks so much comfier and cozier. So I go ahead and put that in the corner. And of course it has an all pink swatch, which is great. I'm going through and just picking some little items. Again, not a lot because this little toddler is going to be crawling / walking around, and we don't want sharp or dangerous objects all over the house. This is the little laundry room. Right as you walk in, there's a washer dryer in here and one counter. You know, you can do your folding in there or you can bring it into the bedroom. I end up putting a laundry basket in the bedroom, one of the full laundry baskets that has folded clothes as well as folded shirts on the dresser. Just as clutter, you know, thinking that I personally don't do my laundry and put it away right away. It is one of the things that drives my boyfriend absolutely insane because he does laundry, he folds it and he puts it away like all in the same day. And I do my laundry, fold it, and then it sits in the laundry hamper for like a week until I use it and need to wash it again. And then I start my whole cycle process over. So thinking that this is obviously a family, they have a toddler, they're not going to have all the time in the world. And so there is going to be some laundry that's done and just not put away because they have other things. They're very busy. They have a toddler. They both have jobs. So that's kind of why I put those clutter objects where I did. Keys, phones, all these little objects that came with one of the recent, I think it was the Everyday Clutter kit. Love it. Absolutely love the glasses and the little coin jar and the phone and the keys. It's all awesome. It adds that just level of realism, level of lived in that we haven't previously had. I added this little owl statue because I think it's adorable and thinking that maybe this was given to them by a family member when they started their family, just as a little like little statue of like, look, you know, there's 3 of you now. You're a family. I don't know. I'm just talking. The pictures on the wall I envisioned were from, you know, some previous travels. Maybe the husband studied abroad and brought home that artwork. And so that was, you know, from him moving in. I also put down the little exercise, the yoga mat and the weight, thinking that obviously mom had a child, you know, about a year ago, and she's been working really, really hard to get back in shape and, you know, be healthy and take care of herself for her family and her kid. So a little bit of workout stuff in the living room because she's far too busy to make it to the gym all the time. And she obviously has a toddler, so she can't necessarily leave the kid and go on a run or go to the gym. I mean, she can go jogging with the kid because I think that is an actual new thing that they can do in the game. But she's going to do a lot of home workouts and stuff like that because she wants to keep in shape. She wants to, you know, get her body back after having a child. Doing a little bit of cluttering here just with some decorative stuff, little stuffed animal, little statue scrolls, the little like Alexa or Google Home stereo thingy. No idea how that works, but I have one on my TV console, so I put one there. I did a lot of thinking about what I do in life with this build. I'm trying to improve my cluttering skills and making my cluttering more purposeful and less just throwing objects everywhere, which is why I have more of a reasoning behind everything than I have had in previous videos. And it's actually really helped me out to kind of come up with a story on what the Sims are doing and who lives in the houses that I'm building. So it's something that I'm going to continue. So if you have any ideas for personalities or family dynamics or, you know, styles of builds or anything like that, let me know down in the comment section because I would absolutely love to hear what you guys would like to see. Again, I'm really excited to be uploading on this channel again. And if you found me, you know, months in the future and you don't understand what I'm talking about, I had to get a new PC. And unfortunately, before that happened, my old PC was not able to handle The Sims 4 anymore. In addition to the other games that we play over on my second channel, Simply Savannah. And so I had to pick, and unfortunately Sims 4 lost because the files are so big. There's so many expansion packs and DLC that I had to uninstall them so that I could play the other games that I cover. I have recently gotten a new PC, which I'm very excited about, and it means that I can get back into The Sims 4. So I have done little else in the past few weeks than build in The Sims. Not everything's going to make it into a video because not everything I'm happy with, but just getting back into the groove and back into playing and decorating little houses. So I'm very, very excited about it. Those blocks right there, I could not figure out for the life of me for the longest time why the railing on the stairs turned all dark. And it's because those blocks are supposed to be huge and I sized them down. And they're one of the objects that has a really weird shadow effect. And so I ended up having to delete them and replace them with something else. And that way my railing wasn't all dark because it looked really bad as a dark gray railing. Anyway, we're moving on to the outside. We're almost done. This outside space is really small. Again, first family home. It's not going to have all the space in the world. It's not going to have everything that they need, but it does have a swing set from the previous family in a little sandbox. So obviously that is something that this family can definitely use, given that they now have a youngster in their family. But then just surrounding it in those same kind of bushes that I pulled from the debug menu, and doing a little bit of landscaping work. That little fairy garden pot object that I put by the door is absolutely adorable and I love it so much. It's so cute. So I went ahead and threw that there just because it's absolutely adorable and I love it. I end up putting a little barbecue out here as well. Just a small one, envisioning that this was probably the husband's, or maybe they got the husband a barbecue because he really wanted one and now they have the space for one. If these guys just came from living in an apartment, they wouldn't necessarily have had space for a barbecue for him. And now that they do, he's really excited to be able to grill things on the barbecue. So put that under the eave there. And then I just put a little table with an umbrella and chairs in this open space, so that they have an outdoor dining space, somewhere to hang out, sit outside and, watch their kid when it gets older, swing on the playset, or dig in the sand, stuff like that. So we are just about wrapping up with this one. And I already have another build in the works, another kind of family home Craftsman style. What I really want to do next is try to do a base game and growing together only house. Because as I mentioned earlier in the video, The Sims 4 has so many expansion packs, so many stuff packs, so much DLC overall that it gets pretty expensive. If you want to get into The Sims 4, you do have to spend quite a lot of money in order to get all of the packs, which isn't necessarily feasible for everyone. So I want to put more effort into doing limited pack builds, and that way, some of my gallery items can be used by more people. And so that's what I really want to focus on, is some limited pack builds. So I think I am going to challenge myself with a base game only and growing together house, because base game really lends itself to suburban kind of homes. And so I feel like it's going to be a relatively easy challenge to put those two together, because there's a lot of objects in both of those, the base game and the growing together pack, that fit together really, really well. And I won't necessarily have to struggle all that much. I'm going back through the debug menu in the cottage living debug a little bit to get those little tufts of grass to make it look like the lawn is just a little bit grown. Again, they're a busy family. Maybe they haven't had time to mow the lawn. And it also just gives a little bit of detail to the open grass that's in front of the house. And then finishing up the foliage around the front of the landscaping, On my other channel, we play lots of park building and zoo management games. And, foliage is the name for habitat foliage. But this is landscaping because it's in front of a house. Putting a couple more details on the deck here and just giving them a little spot to kind of hang out on the front porch. Again, if they want to be out here. I envision it probably doesn't get used a whole lot and it's more probably just for looks, but it's cute nonetheless. Now, I did put a little bike there. I know the kid's not big enough, but I think it's so cute and it adds detail to the front of the house. So I went ahead and added it anyway. You know, the kid's going to grow. It's going to need a bike. Maybe parents were just really excited about having a kid, and so they bought her a bike preemptively, I guess. I don't know. I just wanted to put the bike there. Putting some little picture frames on the wall that you can fill up with in-game stuff. And then putting down the cat stuff. I wanted to wait until I was done decorating the entire house to make sure that the cat stuff could fit in places that, was out of the way. So adding a little bed and a scratching post in the bedroom, and then the little bowl in the kitchen. Obviously, we added the litter box in the bathroom. I totally forgot putting a little laundry hamper, and here's the little clutter and stuff in the bedroom. I gave them a little TV in the bedroom, same TV that I used out in the living room, but I sized that one up and sunk it down into the stand so that it looks like it's a standing flat screen TV. And that way they can watch TV in bed. A little bit of statues, a little bit of books. We'll just put a little shelf on the wall. But if you guys made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'm really enjoying making these videos again. So if you're enjoying watching them, do leave a like on the video and comment down below. Let me know what you thought or suggestions for future videos. You can follow me on all of my social media pages. All those links are down in the description below, including our Discord, my Etsy store, and my other channel if you're interested in other types of content. But until next time, we have some shots of the house to go through, and I really hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk at you in the next one. Bye!